First started watching anime, the first series I watched was Death Note.
I'll take a potato chip and eat it.
It's not a sad story on the surface, but it's psychological, with the two main characters in a constant battle of minds. What Death Note did do was open my eyes to psychological anime, which led me to Erased, A Silent Voice, and Oshinoko. Now, if you know any of these, by default you would say these are just all sad stories, but I also think these are stories that have left a certain impact on not only me, but the fans of these three, which left me thinking, why do we love such sad stories? What do these stories really do for us other than make us start crying at our monitor, phone, or TV? As time goes on, we start to think about the past more frequently. Oh, I wish I did this instead of this, or what I wouldn't do to go back to this. This feeling resonates within the viewer from the eyes of Satoru, who is a 29-year-old manga artist and delivery driver, who has the ability to go back in time if he stops a tragedy like a car accident from happening. With one of his attempts, he gets sent back 18 years into the past, and now is looking to uncover a mystery that affected him as a 29-year-old. As he sees his old friends, his mother, and is reliving his life as an 11-year-old, it gives him happier moments, but also gives a closer look at things that were missed the first time around. Erased gives a mix of happy and sad moments, with the intensity shifting throughout the episode. The main theme I want to pull from Erased is regret. It's something I think a lot of us have struggled with. I myself have struggled with it in aspects of my life, wishing I would have tried harder at things I had interest in or taking myself a little bit more serious. If you have ever thought back to and wished, man, if only I did this sooner, or why did I do this instead, just know you are not alone. In the same coin, the only way you can accept that feeling and move forward is change. Change is something that isn't easy and requires a lot of effort. Shoya from A Silent Voice is a perfect example of how difficult it can be. As a kid, Shoya made some not so great choices with his former classmate, costing him his social life. Now Shoya is in high school and wants to right those previous wrongs. The movie shows us his actions and willingness to see this through. Like I said, change isn't a simple process. You don't just wake up and decide, I will be this type of person, then boom. You have changed who you are. There's many times in the process where you are faced with choices that might lead you into slipping into the way you used to be. I feel this is a very common feeling. There's times where we want to change but struggle along the way. Making a choice to stick with it is where noticeable improvements really show up though. Tragedy is something we have or are going to eventually face throughout living, whether it's global, local, or personal. Tragic events can also create change, but not in a positive manner. At times this change could hurt more than heal, creating a character like Aqua from Oshinoko. Can't go into too much detail about this one because I'd be basically spoiling the plot of the first season, but what I can talk about is Aqua as a person. Aqua had a lot of tragedy happen in a very short window of time. So much so that he has vowed to uncover who caused one of the events and make it his life mission to find that person who is responsible, which leads him down a path of revenge. Now, revenge is something we probably have all wanted or thought about, whether it was over a breakup or someone hurting us on a deeper level due to the tragedy. The sadness one feels in the moment is immeasurable, so connecting with Aqua's feelings and motivation is almost bound to happen. By relating to what the viewer has experienced, making them engaged to thinking that the character is them in some sort of aspect. This is what I think led me to start enjoying sad anime a bit too much. I'd be like, oh man, this character gets it, without even knowing I was only looking for sad anime. I fell into this loop of searching for more and more series that made me feel somewhat connected to characters, which in some cases isn't a bad thing. I find that characters in certain stories can show you a lot of what kind of steps that someone needs to take to live a happier and more fulfilled life, which created my love for sad anime.